The war in West Asia is escalating. Lebanon has become the center right now of the onslaught from Israel. What's really happening on the ground? I'm being joined in an exclusive conversation with Lebanon's ambassador to India, Dr. Rabie Narsh. Dr. Narsh, thank you so much for speaking with India Today Global. You're here after just visiting Beirut. What's the situation on the ground? How difficult have things become for people in Lebanon?
Thank you, Gita. Thank you for having me. Well, the situation is an all-out war waged by Israel against Lebanon. The situation is bad. We have so far more than 1 million displaced from the mainly southern part of Lebanon and West Bekaa Valley, and from Beirut also. Plus, of course, you know that we have the about 2 million Syrian refugees that Lebanon hosts. So the situation on the ground is very bad. This is on the humanitarian side. On the military side, there's the daily attack by Israel, the unprecedented firepower that dropped on civilians. So far, also, we have more than 2,000 innocent civilian souls have perished, and more than about 5,000 wounded.
The Hezbollah has come under severe attack. Hassan Nasrallah is no more, but there was some conversation about a ceasefire agreement between Israel and the Hezbollah, which, of course, the Lebanese government was mediating. Could you share details on that?
Sure. You remember we met and we had some interview about a year ago almost. And since then, I told you that Lebanon is never interested in war. And Lebanon has always been calling for a ceasefire, for peaceful solution for all the crises in the Middle East. The one party who is against every political settlement is the terrorist state of Israel. Israel has always refused the political solution and has always resorted to military measurements. What happened recently, if we want to talk directly on the current situation, is that, yes, Lebanon has been working with international powers for a ceasefire on the Lebanese front and to kind of separate it from Gaza front. And there has been with the good offices of France and the USA even and some other European powers, there has been a kind of draft agreement for a ceasefire, ceasing of hostilities. But there was a kind of plot, because even our minister mentioned it, that late Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah himself agreed to a ceasefire. But then the assassination happened, and the kind of breach of trust. Then the whole situation went to square zero.
So you are saying, did Hassan Nasrallah agree to the ceasefire agreement?
He did. Yes, he did. And there were some international envoys who were sponsoring this ceasefire. And it was, of course, it was conveyed to the international community through our foreign minister, who informed the international envoys that, yes, we are ready. Lebanon as a whole is ready for a ceasefire.
So you're saying that Israel had the option and the route to a negotiation and ceasefire with the Hezbollah that could lead to peace rather than the attack that was carried out immediately after. When was the ceasefire agreed upon? Was it just days before the attack on the Hezbollah?
It was obvious later that it was just a whole plot to assassinate Hassan Nasrallah. It was a plot that Israel would announce their first or the preliminary accept of ceasefire, and Netanyahu was in the at New York at the UN General Assembly delivering speeches, his speech, and then this assassination happened. All of a kind of plot, military plot to assassinate Hezbollah leader.
There's also information about the UN resolution and that the Lebanese government was ready to fully implement the UN resolution as well.
This famous UN resolution 1701.
Yes.
Yes, we have always been calling for the full implementation of 1701. Since the issuance of this resolution, Lebanon has been abiding by it, but the continuous violation of 1701 was from one side only, from the superpower of the region, from the terrorist state of Israel. They have always been violating airspace of Lebanon, the land incursion, the sea violation, so the violation of the sovereignty of Lebanon from all sides.
Dr. Narsh, the fact that we are looking at a very serious scenario and situation right now where Lebanon is under siege in many ways than one, and it's not just the bombing, the pager attacks, the walkie-talkie explosions, we will talk about that too, but we're also looking at ground invasion from Israel. We've seen that in the past as well. What is your assessment and reading of this ground invasion? Are they here to stay? Will they come and go? And how is Lebanon looking at responding to this?
They cannot stay. They cannot keep the control of the land. They have tried the occupation of parts of Lebanon. They did occupy it for certain years, but at the end of the day, the people of the land would conquer the occupation. Occupation never wins. History has told us so. The resistance is a legitimate right for every people under occupation. This land is ours, and we are ready to defend it, even if we know that the enemy, our enemy, Israel, has the supremacy, maybe the air supremacy, the weapons supremacy. They have the unprecedented firepower, maybe the best and the top technology of the world. But still, we know that we will win and we will defend our land. And when it comes to the ground, they tried only yesterday, if you, of course, you are following, they sustained grave losses of more than 15 soldiers when they tried to incur in the ground. I'm not saying that it is uneasy, and they will not. They can, and they will try, and they might. But at the end of the day, they will be defeated, as we did in 2000 and 2006 and even before. We have this experience with Israel since its creation. For us, we know. Now the world maybe is seeing the true face of the terrorist state of Israel. But we know the fact since its creation that Israel is never interested in peace. Israel is an occupation state, occupation power that only aims to expand its land. Unfortunately, they justify this through a twisted and dangerous religious doctrine. This is the dangerous thing, that they justify this religiously.
Dr. Rabie Narsh, thank you so much for joining us here on Mediated.
Thank you.